how the Niners can lose on Sunday.
Seems to dovetail in there nicely, doesn't it, Grant?
I think so. So why don't you go first on this one?
So I think that for me, this seems like an unlikely outcome. I'll say that off the bat. I think that you look at the Lions' 32nd ranked defense from last year. Again, back to my points earlier, a lot of new faces in the front seven, and count on some improved secondary play with a bunch of young players that take that next step. But when you look at the 49ers' strengths, they seem to be the Lions' weaknesses. The 49ers D-line against a banged up offensive line for the Lions, advantage 49ers. The 49ers run game against the Lions front, again, a lot of new faces there, but judging by last year, advantage 49ers. TJ Hawkinson, the best receiver, in my opinion, bar none on the Lions, he's going to be blanketed by either Fred Warner or Jimmy Ward, most likely Jimmy Ward, and we all know what Jimmy's capable in man-to-man. DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. He's got to go against All-Pro Fred, Big Play Dre. George Kittle. The Lions struggle with covering tight ends all of last year. So it just seems to line up perfectly for the 49ers to win, which makes me nervous because it's week 1 of the NFL and weird stuff happens. So how can they lose on Sunday, right? I mean, all those things go right. They won't lose. But what I saw with Tampa Bay last night seems to be one of the recipes in which the 49ers could lose. We have a super thin secondary. If we have a couple of injuries during the game, it could get tough. If we have too many turnovers, Bucks overcame 4 turnovers last night against a supremely talented Dallas team. Obviously, Detroit lesser than Dallas on offense. But if we commit 4 turnovers against Detroit, I have a hard time imagining we overcome that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, this is one of these games where they'd have to beat themselves. And it's like a cliche, but actually, to me, in football, a lot of times when you watch games, what happens is one team blows it. Like both teams are kind of holding serve and doing standard NFL stuff, and then one team blows it. And I think what the Patriots did for a long time with Brady was basically not beat themselves. You kind of just take what the defense gives you on offense, execute, play good, not great on offense and defense, and just wait for the other team to freaking blow it and make a big mistake. And how do you do that? Fumbles, interceptions, penalty sacks. I call them FIPS. And you count them. Like if you want to have less than 10, obviously the turnovers are worse than the penalties and the sacks are worse than the penalties. But overall, if you could keep those to single digits, you're okay. I think you could probably beat the Lions with 7 or 8 FIPS. But if you get into 13 or 14, you're asking to lose to a team that sucks. Because then the Lions can just go out there, do nothing, and win. And that's the kind of stuff you see happen sometimes week 1 is teams find amazing ways to lose games on special teams. And we didn't see that. We saw 2 pretty good teams, 2 great quarterbacks last night. We didn't see that, but it can be done. Don't do it.
That was a spectacular game last night. I mean, even with all the FIPS in there. Yes, 49ers need fewer than 10 FIPS.
I'm counting.
I like it.
Yeah, that's right. JMTZ says, here's a little money to help Grant get a sweet setup as Rob. Thank you. This is the $5 that I'm going to need to get all the great things that Rob has going for him right now. I feel like you had a lot of this stuff on back order for years. Like you ordered the nicest stuff out there, and you had to pass through like the Silk Road for it even to get here. You know what I'm saying? But you got it.
Yes. There were considerable delays in the pipeline.
Yeah. You got it. Vikrant S says Mostert 2K this year if he stays healthy all season, especially given 17 games. Nah, it's always a committee out here. Out here, it's going to be him, Sermons, Lance. How many yards is Lance going to run for this year? How many yards? I want to know.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be a lot.
736.
I think it's going to, that's what I was going to say, 736. See, we're finally getting on the same page. William says, hey, you're doing a great job. My great work, Rob. The reason Kittles and other teammates, don't want Trey's because with Trey, it takes the ball out of their hands. With Trey, it's just him running around. Interesting. Also, they can't catch Trey's passes. How's it going to look with Kittles dropping balls left and right? That's not going to look good for Kittles.
That might upset George.
Yeah. Yeah, George.
You don't want to see furious George.
You don't want to see that. Or curious George. Joshua says Lance is so raw, starting him could shatter him. Hasn't played in 600 days. He needs snaps to be ready for 2022. Dual quarterback was entirely predictable. Okay. Well, okay. I'm curious to see, though, how this works, because if all they're going to do with him is say, go on the field, hand off 10 times and pull it once and run once, how does that help him in any freaking way develop as a quarterback? That's my question. So I don't know what they're going to do. We don't know yet.
I'll play devil's advocate on that one. I think, to me, the argument of getting them in slowly, that old school approach to seasoning rookies, there's something to that. There's something to building the confidence, getting on the field, and just having things go right and not having it be a complete disaster. That to me is the new experience of being on an NFL field that could build up confidence, get him right. So it's like, but it's a stretch.
Just hand the ball off 5 times without fumbling it, and we're going to work from there. Show me
a start
that you can hand it off without fumbling it, Trey, and then we'll let you run. Okay. Jeez,
then and only then.
Amazing how the Niners traded up to 3 for some guy, and they're like, just don't think that just because we traded up to number 3 that we think you're that. Don't think. Oh, you think we think you're that good? Oh, well, you're wrong. We don't even think you can handle the ball. It's like, oh, because the Jets over there being like, where's Zach? God, we're so pleased to have you. You're so good. Thank you so much. The Niners are like, don't try to get the wrong impression over here, buddy. Pal.
Slow your roll there, rookie.
Yeah, it's exactly. Trey's like, oh, I thought you guys were desperately in need of a spark. Oh, yay, you guys got it. You know.
No, we're going to pay $27 million to one quarterback, invest all this into a rookie, and then we're going to minimize the quarterback position. It's my favorite thing that the 49ers are doing this year. Well, invest heavy and then minimize.
Here's what happened. They were going to go all in with Trey Lance, but they started getting 2019 vibes, and they were strong. And they just got hit by so many vibes at once, it changed the whole complexion of the year. What are you going to do? You can't deny a vibe. They're serious. Chris says if Lance starts more than half the year, he'll get 750 plus rushing this year. If they split 5 to 700 is very doable. Yeah, I agree.
Chris clearly did not hear 736.
Yeah, we said 736. That's
736.
That's the answer. I don't know. Go to Vegas right now. Michael says, was Kyle playing 3D? More like 4D chess the whole time and playing this two-headed monster from the jump. Yeah, I maintain that what happened was he said, I want Mac Jones. The Niners were like, read Twitter. And he's like, okay, I won't take Mac Jones. And I do like Trey Lance, but you have to understand I'm not starting Trey Lance. Like, that's my condition. He's not ready. It's going to take time. And they're like, okay, fine. That's fine. So this is, yes, I do think he planned this from the jump. He gave Trey Lance an opportunity to win the job, but like with 3 arms tied behind his back.
Yeah, he gave him a chance, but not really. It feels as if to start the season, this was his plan. I don't know if he thought it would naturally evolve into something else, but given the opportunities he did and didn't give to Lance, it feels like he wanted a 2 QB system to start the year.
Ninerbot coming in strong says Jittery's 24-8 as a starter and Grant acting like he's Nick Mullins. Really think he's going to lose against the Lions when we already know what Goff can do. I think he's going to win by 2 touchdowns. I think he has the capability to lose to the Lions. I do. This guy doesn't see linebackers, and I don't know why, but I've seen it. Like, he can't see them. He is blind. He's linebacker blind. How do you fix that when you can't see linebackers? They're right there. They're 6'3". I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a tough one, but he is 24-8. He's also 5-4 in his last 9. He's 6-8 in his last 14. 8-6 in his last 14. He's starting to feel like Goff.
Don't say it. Oh, like you Goff. Said it.
I'm sorry. Said it. I mean, Goff had a great win-loss record. He was freaking 23-8.
He was.
He was. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Play better. You can't keep skating by on that win-loss record and that smile. All right.
That devilish jawline.